Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another Michigan Military Technical and Historical Society Museum vehicle video. Out here working on the 151 today, and we've been taking some of the metal, as we talked about in the last video. We've been taking this front cross member off, and there's some more damage. The damage underneath it's a little bit worse than I was hoping, so we're going to have to go a little bit deeper into these floor pans. But that's a story for another day. But you can see we started to take this cross member out, cutting the spot welds, removing it. Once I realized how badly damaged this was, kind of wasn't as careful as I should have been. Made it put a couple dents, but it doesn't matter because this is all going to get replaced anyway. So we're going to kind of walk over here, and we were talking last time about that I was waiting for the spot weld cutters to come in. And that's kind of where we're at with this. So I just wanted to do a little bit about, talk a little bit about the spot weld cutter, and we're going to walk over this side. So this is our transmission support. That's part of that front cross member that goes in the center. We cut this out, and this is the original piece of the cross member here. Cut this out so we can get to both sides of it easier, and then we'll kind of walk through the process. So we start down here. We grind away the paint with the flap wheel or just abrasive, and we can uncover where the spot welds are at. So you can see the spot welds, and then once you get the spot welds identified, we're going to go ahead. We center punched them with I used one of the automatic punches. I went ahead and just center punched it, and then once I center punched it, I drilled a small pilot hole into the middle of each one of the spot welds with a small drill bit. So you can kind of see these have been uncovered, center punched, and then we drilled a pilot hole. The next thing we need to do is take the spot weld cutter, which we have over here. We have a set. Spot weld cutter looks like this. This little pin in the middle is spring loaded, goes in and out. So you put that pin into that pilot hole. You put it in the drill. This one we've been using. You can see this one already broke on me. So they're two-sided. So one side's already shot. This other side's already getting pretty dull. And you can see too how much that point starts to wear down. You're on that pilot point, which is kind of what happens over here. It jumped out because it's worn out. It jumped out of the hole and started doing crazy stuff. So once you pilot punch them, you go ahead and you put your spot weld cutter, line it up in that hole. And so when you drill the pilot hole too, you want to try only to go through the first layer of metal. The goal of this is to not penetrate the second layer of metal if you can avoid it. Then you take the spot weld cutter. You can see this is the one where it jumped. So I probably need to change out that center for a sharper point. It's getting around and it's hopping around. So then you go ahead and it just exactly what it sounds like. It cuts around the spot weld so that you get through. And then you come to what we have over here. So best thing to use for this is a panel knife. This is a nice Sheffield panel knife. I've had this for a long time. It's starting to get a little worn out though. And you start your panel knife. So like this is easy because we've cut this. We can get it in on this side, and you put it in there, and you hit it with the hammer, and then the spot weld will pop. And then you just keep walking it down with the hammer. If you get one that's stubborn, you get an old screwdriver or a pry bar, you might have to help it along a little bit. But what happens then is what we see here. It starts to, you got the nice, where the spot welds have been cut, it's just coming loose. And you just get in there with that hammer again, just keep walking that down till you get to the end. Repeat it on the other side, and then you just come in here with your grinder, and you grind these down. What's left of the spot weld, you just knock them down flush with the grinding wheel, and then you can start doing metal prep. So this piece here will end up in the sandblast cabinet. We'll sandblast it. We'll grind all this stuff smooth on the ends, and then it's got a couple pinholes over here, so I might end up cutting the end of it off and just welding a new piece on, or depending on what it looks like, because it's on both sides, I'll probably just cut it, weld a piece on, and metal finish it, and call it a day. Or I could, just cut these corners out and metal finish it. But it's probably easier just to make a piece that runs the whole length across here. So, but once we get it out of the blast cabinet, we'll see. But you can see, those spot welds just pop, and you just keep walking it down with the hammer, and that's pretty much it. It's a tedious process. It can be a noisy process, especially if some of these get stubborn and you really have to start whacking on the panel knife. So this is this is a nice heavy-duty panel knife. This is a real Sheffield. I've had this probably 25-30 years. It's seen a lot of action. You can tell it's got a lot of. Might be time to retire this guy and get a new one. Panel knives can come in a bunch of different varieties. This is probably this is your basic one. You get some like this. They come thinner. This is one by Steck. This is a right angle one. So if you're working in a place where you can't lay this flat against it, you can come in there with this, and then your strike faces out, so you can get this behind the. So I've been using this one over there on the floor because it's real hard to get this fat knife in there. So you put this one in, and then your strike face is out here on the 90. So you hit it with the hammer here, and then you can also use it as a pry bar to pop the welds. So this one's this one here is more brute force. And then this one here is a little bit more of a finesse tool. And they come in a bunch of different configurations, shapes, sizes, types. But these are the two that I have. I have 99% of what I need to do. And then, if it comes right down, you can use a cold chisel. You can use a pry bar. I have this like old screwdriver here that probably from some off-brand toolkit. This thing here is no longer usable as a screwdriver, but it's become my go-to little pry bar that lives over here on the bench. So you have a variety of tools you can use, but spot weld cutter, panel knife, and a hammer, and you can get most of this done. And so that's quick and dirty on how we start digging into this stuff. And you can see, like, if I was going to change these channels out, there's spot welds all the way down here. I mean, there's probably 30, 40, 50 of them on each side. So you got to go through, you got to locate each one, you got to center punch it, you got to drill it, you got to cut it, you got to take the panel knife and remove it. And the goal is to just, whichever piece you're replacing, you don't worry about it. And the other part, if it gets damaged, it gets damaged. But you're trying to save this piece of steel and replace this piece of steel. So that's pretty much it. So again, I just wanted to give you a quick view on the spot weld cutter and using the panel knife. And as you can see, I got a lot more work to do on this thing. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be cut out and removed. So like and subscribe. Check out the museum website, mimths.org. And we will see you all next time.